Assalamu alaikum friends. In this video I will show you how to use the OK command in TIA portal V16. What he says, query if the value of a tag is a veiled floating point number, then your output will be on or execute. Otherwise it will be no pass the signal from your input. How to use? Let's see. Here is I take my one contact from where I make the execution I0.0. After I use this command for OK, and here I use one output Q0.0 for see the execution how it works. Secondly, I make it one here branch also for another same data to use, and here I use one my another coil Q0.0 also can use, or any coil you can use. And one more thing, what I do, I will go to the new block and I will make this data block 2, and here I use two datas. One I give name, both I can give LOATING floating numbers MBERS floating numbers. C Control V. This I use floating numbers and this I use floating number 1. These two datas I will make, and this value I take in real. Because this lecture is at real, we see him this real, and then I make it here one data block 2, I think so, maybe. Yeah, floating numbers, and second data I will give it here for from data block 2, that floating number 1. This two datas I give to this program, and this program I will download to my PLC. Then we see. And I make my simulation on here, and then I give data here. For example, we will give it the data here 35. This is think about yani 35.0. This is the real data, and he will be passed. And here I give some another data. For example, here I give the other data in any other form. For example, octal I give it here 65. So it's the it goes there. No problem. Can be see. We will make it execution. See, this 56. He understands about this command. Understands only real data. He is not understand about the floating point number. When it's giving the real floating point number, after he will be understand and see. I will give it here any other data. For example, in decimal I say him 67. He will close the execution because this command knows about the real data. He don't know this data after he close the output. Same as this, if I give it's here real data. For example, in floating point number, I give him 30.0 dot 00009. He will execute past the signal because he knows the real floating point number. If I give him any other form data, for example, I give him binary or any other data, put 25 2 3 4. This you can't give any binary number. In binaries you can give the big number. See, he will never pass the signal. This only understands the real data in floating point numbers. Any data you can give 12.5, he will be pass the signal. If not have the real data, it will be stop the execution. See here also it's find floating point number. If I giving any other data 23.956, any data when you giving, it will be pass the execution. If it's not the in real, it will be no pause. And I think so it's the very simple and very easiest way to understand the OK command, how to use in TIA portal V16. Anywhere in the program you can use. Man, and also friends, if also I like to use this data here, floating point number. If I give it another data for decimal 34 or something, oh sorry, 35 data I give, that will be execute. But if I gives the data in any other form, decimal for example 23, it will be stop the execution. This also same, this data if I used in floating point number, it will be execute, otherwise it will be closed. For example, in octal may I say 12, if he say this is the not real data, he is stop the execution. This command only understand about the real data. If you're not giving the real data, it will be stop the execution. And also if you need here some data fix from HMI or SCADA, also you can stop the execution, stop the simulation, and simply go to this here also this numbers you can use in MD10, and this also you can use MD20, and again you can download in the PLC, then click load, and then you make your simulation on and see. Now I make the execution. Now he say this 0 is the real. If I change this one, for example, modify in floating point numbers, maybe I 35.000 I will put if it will be continuously on. and if I give it another form, maybe I give in decimal value. If I give here 12, it's not real. He will be closed. And this data you can take from here to HMI and can use here continuously from set from outside. And also if you use any analog or something, this also you can take the value from there and execute it here after your program will be running. And if in this also, in this lecture I will also one more thing. Next, this command I will tell you here is not OK command. Here one row I will take and I will use it here, not OK command. Because of not OK command, when you used here, I put Q 0.1 I will use for Q 0.1. And this also I will go in data block 2. I will make it one here. Now it's real data, real data, and it will I take in real. Okay, and this I gives here data block 2, sorry, that real data I give it here, and I will make it again download in the PLC. And anywhere when you make the changes in program, you have to be reinitialized after you can download, otherwise will be stop downloading. Make it here simulation. This totally work in different way. Yani. Say this data now shows in which condition? This nota is showing now in floating point number. Means not okay if data after this will be execute. For example, here we put 100, it will be no pass. If I put it here in other form data, for example, I put it here in decimal 15.5 or something, when you make it on and here you make it execution, it will be no pause, because it will be totally different work in opposite condition. For example, this is the decimal, I put it here 100. For example, it will be never cross the data. And if I put it here in any other form, for example 12.000 also, or what data you will put, it will be never pass the value. Octal, and see, when he shows it's the not the real data, then he will execute the output. If you put the real data, it will be close the execution. See 12, if I put, it will be continuous because this is the real data. We don't need the real data. And here it's also, when you modify this data, if you put it here 15, it will be pass the value. If you have any other form, when you put, if any other form when you put it here 13, it will pass, otherwise it will be stop. See here floating point number, if you put another data, for example in decimal, if you put 15, it will be immediately stop the execution. And instead of it, this command, if you put this one same like data, that floating point number 15, it will be stop the execution. This is same value, you put it here, it will be stop, and same value you put it here, it will be on. For example, this way go in decimal, and here we put 20, it will be execute your hour. So in this commands, guys, I think so you completely understand about okay, not okay, real, not real data, how we use in TA portal V16, R13, 15 can use. If you have any question or something, you can send me message in comment section or send me email. I will give you feedback as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.